foot.
Yes, sir.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of the Protect Our Queens podcast presented by the mighty Give Us a Shot Network. The Las Vegas Aces are back-to-back WNBA champions, and we have a very special guest coming on the show for you tonight, so there's not really much of an intro today because we want to get right into it, so stay tuned.
Protect our queens.
No matter what it takes, we must protect our queen.
I mean, I just love playing the game. It's fun.
I'm reacting on what the defender does.
There is no shot on the floor that she can't hit.
Yeah, I think I've always just been able to get downhill, so I've sort of prided myself on that.
I know what I'm doing. Like, people can't tell me I'm not doing the right, I've been taught the right way.
Back again.
Martin is back from his Nerd Con in Phoenix. Went to go listen to Harry Potter music get played while watching the Harry Potter movie.
Did
you enjoy Phoenix, man?
Comic-Con. You say Nerd Con. You make it seem like I went to like a superhero nerd convention.
It was a gathering of Harry Potter nerds. I'm not trying to insult. I myself, as we talked about before the show, I myself am a Harry Potter nerd. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's where we was at. He was in Phoenix being a nerd, man. You took a break from the breathing and the meditating, and you went to go be a nerd. Knowing you were probably breathing and meditating on the plane and all that stuff. But it's nice to have you back.
There's everything. There's levels to nerds. You know, I will declare now that Harry Potter does not make you a nerd because, listen, I'm in the category of nerds that are like the cool nerds. So, I'm good with being called a nerd for watching Harry Potter because to me, you need that culture. You don't know about no Expelliarmus and
Wingardium Leviosa. Yeah,
hey, the boy who lived. You better learn the story and know it well. It will teach you things about life.
Yeah, I'm not saying watching Harry Potter makes you a nerd, but there are some hardcore, die-hard Harry Potter nerds out there.
Gathering. The word gathering did it.
Yes.
You told me that. It was a gathering. Go up in Harry Potter like costumes, like wizard, like they're going to. Some people do that.
I believe you. Just go see a symphony of I believe you. They've got great music too, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about some women's basketball. The Las Vegas Aces, for the third time in WNBA history, the first time in 21 years, back-to-back titles. Martin didn't have a horse in the race, right? He didn't have a horse in the race. That was his slogan throughout the course. But I wanna talk about firstly Kelsey Plum before we get into like the Aces and things. I want to talk about Kelsey Plum because Kelsey Plum, she ruffles some feathers sometimes. Doesn't always mean to, but she does sometimes. In the beginning of the season, before the season started, she was on the boardroom. And she talked about, or I think it was maybe in the middle of the season, but she was having a conversation about like the Aces being called a super team, right? And she gave mention to the fact that, well, before they got Candace Parker and before they got Alicia Clark last year, when teams were ranked, the Aces were 5th on the list before they won the championship. And then, of course, obviously won the championship this year, but Candace Parker only played 18 games. And Alicia Clark obviously was 6th Woman of the Year, but we've talked about this before, right? But is it safe to say at this point now that the Aces are a super team now that they've won 2 championships in a row, or is that not the case?
I have said I've given my stance on the show. Like I do consider them a super team just because I respect the level of talent that they have that much. They have 4 star level players, and to me that warrants having a super team. To me, it's not as much about like them going back to back. That adds to their super team resume. That just adds to their dynasty resume. But to me, when you have multiple stars on your team, it's that simple. You're a super team. Even if they lost, even if the Liberty won, the Aces will be a super team. Are you good over there, bro?
I got a shortage in my extension cord now, just suddenly. So I had to replug that. Yeah, we're good though.
You should have said your Expelliarmus before we started.
I probably should have. Yeah, I probably should have. No, I mean, I agree. Again, we had this conversation a couple weeks ago. I wouldn't. Kelsey Plum makes a great point though. Like in theory, right? When you talk about where the Aces are, like despite the fact that the Aces won a championship last year, like the people who are in the league, players, executives, GMs, rank them fifth as far as whether or not they like who would be most likely to win the championship last year. I can't really sit here though and hold off on calling them a super team anymore. I know the last time we talked about this, I said that they're not a super team because they like the players they have were drafted, and when you have 3 consecutive number 1 overall picks, they should pan out and be who they've become. So that's great. But yeah, they're a super team. I mean, I can't sit here and really deny it much further, but it's also okay. I think the interesting thing is that somehow along the lines of like the changing of culture in basketball on the men's side as well, we've somehow turned super team into like a dirty word. It's a bad thing for your team to be really, really good, whether it's in the case of the Liberty, where you've just got a bunch of really great players coming together in one place, whether you have a situation like the Aces where you have really great players out of college, drafted number 1 overall, and they've now hit their prime and hit their stride at the same time. Like whether that's the case or not, like being a super team doesn't like it's not a dirty word. It shouldn't be treated like it's a dirty word. I think that's the problem really, is that so many of us in the basketball community, not just on the men's or women's side, have turned the word super team into a dirty word as if it ruins basketball. But in all honesty, like I actually like the idea of super teams. I think it makes it that much more interesting when you have some of those teams that aren't super like going up, but like it's like now you really get one of those good old fashioned David and Goliath matchups. Like I think that to me that's more interesting than just a bunch of super great teams just going like it's fun, but that dynamic of being an underdog makes basketball better. But
yeah, I mean, like the whole thing, like we said before, the reason why super team has a negative connotation as a term is because it really, I don't know when you remember super team really becoming a thing, but when I remember my first instance and reference of hearing like super team was LeBron to Miami.
I was going to say the Heatles would have been the really like kind of the big one.
The big one, like super.
And then they tried to like backdate it and talk about like the big 3 Celtics and like some other teams. Like now that this term exists, but
we just whatever the excuse, we didn't have the term. No one thought of it. Like whatever, that was a big 3. They had, I mean, maybe a big 4 if you count Rondo. So like we know they had a big 3. It's just that we just weren't calling it a super team yet. Mm-hmm. To me, and I hold this stance always in that comparison about all the Celtics did it first. The Celtics didn't have arguably the best player in the game go play with another top 5 level player in the game and then recruit the top power player. It's still not the same. It's still very different dynamics. So let me just put that out there. But that's when I remember super team. And then the KD to the Warriors was like super team on steroids, right? So, but it's about how it's constructed. This is what we talk about. This is where I understand if people want to make that distinction about if it's a super team or not. I can understand that. It's just that I'm looking at just what you have. I don't care about the construction. I get it in terms of like they created a super team. So people, even you had said, you felt like the Liberty were the super team between Vegas and you. You considered that just because of how it was constructed. And I guess
again, understand that. Because again, when you go back to like when we first started calling teams super teams, it was LeBron and the Heatles, and they came about because LeBron went to Miami and Chris Bosh went to Miami. Like that is the idea. You think about KD and the Warriors. KD left OKC, went to Golden State. People try to call the Clippers a super team, but they're hurt too much for them to be a super team. Like even that dynamic of it, like you have 2 players leaving where they were. Like that is the idea to me. So I guess in essence, for me, holding the position all season of the Aces not being a super team, it wasn't necessarily to diminish the greatness of the players on the Aces, both individually or collectively. It was my way of saying, like, our standard for what a super team has been set. It's been set since 2011, really. This is a super team. When a really great player goes somewhere else and joins other great players. If that's the standard that's set, then that's not what the Aces are. The Aces are a team that just drafted well. And we shouldn't be mad at the Aces for having done what front office are supposed to do, which is draft well and do a good job of developing players. And so because the word super team has become such a dirty word, I all season of like, look, if we're talking about super teams, there's only one super team in the league, because the Aces just did what any front office would love to do, which is hit on all their picks and put together a good team in doing so.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think Liberty and Aces are both qualified super teams, and that's great for the league. Now, the KP quote that to me was most interesting, I want to know your thoughts on what she said about the Liberty. Now, she clarified and she came back and said it was taken out of context, not really what she said. I don't know if you read the quote. I read the quote, and it looked like she kind of said what they said she said about the Liberty, like not really caring about each other, them not being a real team. What did you think about that?
So I understand the sentiment. I think, but again, like, so as an Aces fan, like I get these quotes all the time from KP. Like that, like there's always a quote from KP that is going to ruffle feathers, and it's not always. Sometimes she's intentional, but sometimes she's not. Like she said before game four, she was like, yeah, you know, we've been hurt, we've been arrested, like referencing Raquana. Like that's just who she is. Like she just kind of like she's a straight shooter. So she's a straight shooter. That's who. That quote to me was, I think there is some truth to that. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Liberty don't care about it. I would never say that, because of course they care about each other. But I think what Kelsey was alluding to is the idea that like the Aces, again, going back to the idea of like what makes super team a super team, like Kelsey's been there since what, 2017. Asia's been there since 2018. Jackie's been there since 2019. Like they have grown together. They have gone, like Asia's been hurt a couple of times during those stretches. Like they were in the bubble together. And like, so the idea is, what she is saying isn't like the Liberty aren't a team. What she's saying is the Aces have gone through a lot together. They've had super high peaks and they've had super low valleys. Like they've been through thick and thin. They went through a stretch when they were, you know, supposed to be one of the best teams in the league, but the coaching just wasn't what it was supposed to be. And so they couldn't get over the hump. Like they went to a point where they were in the finals previously, before even winning their first championship in 2022. They were in the finals before and lost because of coaching. So what I took from that wasn't that the Liberty aren't like, they don't like each other. What I took from that is like, this is their first year together. They haven't had nearly as many struggles as we have had together. And a lot of times that adversity is what makes a team a team. Like, right. You know, like that adversity of like picking each other up when they're down, like that is what makes a team a team. And so Kelsey was basically saying like, we've had these moments over these last 4 or 5 years where we have all had to kind of have each other's backs and be super vulnerable with each other through the ups and the downs, through being sued and being arrested, coaching changes, injuries, all those things. The Liberty haven't. They've been together for one summer. They haven't had nearly as many ups and downs as the Aces had. So I even when I first heard the quote, I kind of understood what she meant when she explained it. I mean, I understood. I didn't think she was meaning anything ill by it, but there's always someone somewhere that's going to take offense to something. I don't think she meant any harm by it at all, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, again, reading the quote, it did seem like she said what she was trying to say she didn't say about them, like, not caring about each other. From what I read, it seemed like that did come out of her mouth. But I think what she said to clear it up was exactly what you said. She was more so trying to speak to the Aces than the Liberty. She was speaking more to like, we've been through it. They haven't been through it yet. They just haven't been together. And that's just a fact. They haven't been together that long. I did find it kind of interesting that like John Quell had to respond, Stewie had to respond. And like, to me, that is giving the Liberty kind of fuel as a group going forward. I even saw Sabrina's response to it in a quote, basically saying what we're saying. It's like, we understand that this is our first time together. Like we kind of, they even said like, now where I hate where the division happens is where this whole classless and classy conversation started.
Yeah, that's where I started to have a little bit of an issue.
Because, you know, Stewie, while I can respect where she came from in her response, saying like, you know, we're going to stay classy as usual. We're not really going to respond to that. You know, I think that was just her way of just being Stewie, where she's not confrontational. She's not going to fire back or say something. And also, I don't think that was her saying that the Aces aren't classy. But I think people like to make it about that because that was her response. You know, it wasn't her saying, oh, we're classy over here and they're not over there. She's just her way of saying like, you know, I don't have anything to say. I don't think anyone else is going to, you know, the GM had a great response, but that was after KP had kind of cleared it up already. But I do think that's a way for the Liberty to say, because John Quell had a really compelling quote to say like, yo, these women picked me up over the summer. They were here for me. They had my back. Like, so the whole like they don't care about each other thing, I think that kind of planted a seed in them to be like, all right, a little extra fuel, a little extra motivation, a little extra awareness to be like, yeah, we are going through this together. Like we actually like, no, wait, guess what? We do like each other. We do care about each other. The last thing I'll say about it, and this is big, like in sports and basketball and anything, the Aces and I'm really looking forward to seeing the contrast between these two teams over the next couple of years. The Aces are like all personality, unapologetic, dancing before KP and Asia turning up before the game in the warmups. Like to them, that's what it looks like to enjoy each other's company, to care about each other, to have fun doing this. So like if you look on the other side and you just see people just warming up as usual, you might think like they're not as connected as we are. And that's fair. Because again, they've been together longer. So it's fair to think that. But no matter how long we're together, no matter how long, even if that team's been together, you can still look down and look at how they interact and how they talk and how they look at each other and how they hold each other accountable. And you can sense like, nah, they're not as connected as we are. And I think that's mainly what she was speaking to.
I agree. And we've got like 3.5 minutes before we bring Diamond on. So I do want to just tap into this super, super quickly. Again, Aces first back-to-back champ since the 01-02 Sparks, obviously the third team overall. The Comets won the first 4. Are back-to-back titles enough? Because this conversation has started now. Are back-to-back titles enough to call the Aces a dynasty, or do they need to win the third first?
I'm a three-peat dynasty person through and through. I need the three-peat. That's always been my experience. It's like when they three-peat, then we talk dynasty.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when you think about some of the greatest dynasties, not just in basketball, like in sports, right? The Comets dynasty, they won the first 4. The Lynx dynasty, they won like 4 and 5 years or 4 and 6 years or something like that. You talk about UConn women's basketball dynasty, they won 4 in a row. They won a lot more than 4 in a row, but they won a lot of basketball games together, right? If you take it to the men's side, you're talking about, the Kobe Shaq Lakers, and you're talking about the Warriors, obviously, of a more recent memory, the Bulls, the Showtime Lakers, things like that. So 3 is what it takes to be a dynasty. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Aces are a dynasty yet. I'm an Aces fan, and I'm not going to sit here and say that this is the best, one of the best teams ever, because this could all fall apart very quickly. Like this could all, and I'm not saying it will, but it could all fall apart very quickly. Like Becky Hammond kind of mentioned it during the parade last night. Like it's tough to win 2. It's hard to win 1. Mm-hmm. It's harder to win 2. It's very difficult to win 3.
And like she also said,
it's very difficult to win 3.
She's about to be on Asia's ass, something that she doesn't even understand because she's never they don't know what it means to three-peat.
Yeah. So
as hard as it was to win 1, as hard as it was to win 2, if y'all want to get 3, as hard as that was, if y'all want to tap in, that's why Becky said, I'm on. Guess what? I'm about we having fun, but guess what? A couple months, we got to start thinking about like, you want to win again? You want to do this again? It's going to be that much harder. So celebrate now, but that three-peat's going to be a much bigger monster.
I do think there will be, and I don't want to downplay the accomplishment, and I don't want to downplay the rest of the league either, but we've kind of talked about as well. The presence of Candace Parker for a full 40-game season, of course, will make a major difference as far as it'll still be difficult, again, because we're talking about winning 3 championships in a row. That is still a difficult task, but a full-time presence from Candace Parker should make that task slightly easier than what it was. If she's
back, that's a three-peat. With those 18 games, I've never seen a WNBA team, maybe any team, look that good ever. That was the most unstoppable the Aces have ever. I've never seen anything like that before. If they bring Candace Parker back, it's a three-peat.
Yeah, I mean the Aces through the 18 games that Candace Parker played, we're talking like they were setting all types of records, offensively, defensively, offensive rating, defensive rating. They were ridiculous. So, as an Aces fan, of course, I'm going to agree. Like the presence of Candace Parker, I think, almost guarantees. I don't want to say guarantee because nothing's guaranteed, but as close as you can get to a guarantee of a three-peat. Yeah.
Healthy. I will not make the mistake again of underestimating and Miss no. If Candace is back, I'm riding with the three-peat.
Well, Martin, could you do the honors of introducing our guest of honor so we can get this party started even more?
Absolutely. Let's bring on one of my absolute favorite players, one of the best players in the country, the Queen of Philly, Philly's own, right? The 6th Woman of the Year in the ACC last season for North Carolina State. She was all Big Ten freshman team her freshman year at Rutgers when I had a chance to watch her and cover her up close. She is the one and only, the dazzling, the dangerous Diamond Johnson. Let's get it.
Look at the use of the adjectives.
Come on, Dime. Come on, Dime. Talk to me. You got to unmute, Dime. I see your mic.
Yeah, you're on muted. Yeah, you're muted.
Here we go. Talk to me. Come on, girl. I still can't hear you, Dime.
If you got a little muffle going on there, it's a little muffled.
You can hear me now.
There you are. We got you now.
There you go.
I said I love the description. Y'all funny. I love it. I like it.
Dime, it is so good to see you, girl. I feel like I haven't seen you in so long. You know,
You haven't for real.
You left Philly. You went first. You were here in Jersey, where I got to just love on you and watch you and stuff. Then you decided to go to North Carolina, and I looked up to you. I'm like, boy, can I get me some Dime time?
You playing? You know you gotta come down. You ain't come down last year.
I know. No, I know, and I said I would, but I really just need to know. First of all, Dime, I need updates. Are you healthy right now?
I'm healthy.
You are. You've been rehabbing though.
I've been rehabbing. I've been taking some time off rehabbing, trying to get back. But yeah, I'm back. It still give me a little bit of problems, but I'm back though for sure.
What was your injury, Dime? Remind me.
It was a high ankle sprain. It was bad. If I show you these pictures, I couldn't even walk for a week straight. It was super bad.
First time you hurt that ankle ever?
Yeah, it was the first time. I had 3 bone bruises and tore ligaments. So the bone bruises is still healing. That give me the most problems. So,
what has that recovery been like for you?
it's been stressful. This is my first time missing that many games and since I started playing basketball. So it was super different. I didn't know how to handle it at first, but as time went on, I just, I had to be patient and just keep rehabbing and getting better.
Anything you've been kind of learning throughout the process about your body, about recovery, just anything in the process you've been kind of learning along the way?
Yeah, just learning more about injury prevention and stuff like that. So now, even though something don't hurt, I'm rehabbing, my legs don't hurt, I'm gonna try to prevent them from hurting. So just being a step ahead on that stuff.
Marcus, this girl right here, dog, I don't know if you really know who you talking to right now. I don't know if you really know, dog. Hey, man. Hey, we're gonna get you whatever you need to make sure you're tapped into Marcus. Marcus is an HBCU supporter, so we're gonna make sure Marcus has whatever he needs.
I am, yeah. I went to HBCU. Yeah.
You went to where you go at?
I went to community college in DC. I went to UDC.
Okay.
So yeah, I thoroughly enjoy HBCU, all things related to HBCUs, HBCU athletes, HBCU academics, anything related to HBCUs. That's
look, you see my shirt, you see it.
Yeah, I was thoroughly pleased.
Mm-hmm.
I was thoroughly pleased when Martin texted me and told me that you went to Norfolk State. I thought that was great. I think it's important that we have athletes, lawyers, whatever, coming from
No,
HBCUs.
for sure.
I think that's super important.
For sure. No, absolutely.
Speaking of shirts, are we still Dime 3 or did you?
Hold up, other shoulder.
That's Dime 3 merch. Oh, nice. Wait, are you zero now? Didn't you have to change to 0?
No,
you're still 3.
I'm still 3.
Oh, I'm looking at the thing wrong. I'm like, it's still Dime 3. Okay, no, I was like, wait. For some reason, I thought I saw you had 0. I don't know why I messed that up.
No, I had 0. I think I had 0 my first year at State. I did. I had 0.
Okay, but you threw. Well, we three. We back to three with it.
Yeah, we back to three. We back to
Three's
three.
up, man. Time three. Tap in. Tap in.
Got to. For sure. Got to.
What's the significance of 3 to you, Don?
I don't know. It's just been my favorite number growing up. Like, obviously Allen Iverson, like he was one of my favorite players. It was a lot of, good players that have three. Chris Paul, D Wade, like that, and that's what stuck out to me. Like I noticed those players wearing it, and then three is just a lucky number. I do 3 bounces on my free throw line. Like 3 is just really the lucky number.
And you still shooting deep threes? Lord, this girl will just shoot it from the parking lot. Oh my god! Dom, I started picking up on your little tells, dog. You start dribbling up. I'm like, man, she about to pull that joint. They don't know what she. I'm like, Dom be pulling that joint, dog. Like she don't be thinking about that joint. Next thing, by the time you think, like, man, that joint be gone. Shit, she let that thing go.
No, for sure, we still shooting threes, but we always add stuff to the bag too.
Facts. I saw a couple practice clips because I ain't seen you play in a while. I'm like, man, so I've been watching the pictures. I was swiping through, I'm like, let me just see how Dime moving and shoot. I saw you shoot one from probably volleyball line. I thought, I'm like, oh yeah.
I'm crying.
We on. Yeah, we back in it.
You're
for sure, definitely for
you're such a fool.
Deep threes, dog. I got that. It's in my heart for players.
So you just mentioned you're always looking to add things to your game. The evolution of your game, how important is that to you, and what's like the newest thing that you've been working on for you?
The evolution is important because like when people speak on smaller guards and stuff like that, you typically hear like we got to be able to shoot over taller defenders, we got to be able to finish over taller defenders, because there's a lot of basketball players that's taller than me, but just knowing when to when space creation, get your shot off, and we don't want to get our shot blocked, so we got to work on moves that separates us from like bigger defenders, and defense too is big for smaller guards, and just having that heart of not letting no big person bully you or another big guard bully you, so just having that mentality and stuff, just adding stuff to the bag, like more passing, like more seeing the next level of reads and stuff. Because I've been watching like a lot of WNBA, and they don't make like simple reads all the time. They make those opposite pass reads and stuff. So just trying to get my vision up, and and keep going to the basket. My floaters, layups, like literally everything you can name. So nothing can hinder me from reaching my goals.
Hey Marcus, if you watch her high school highlights are the equivalent. Have you ever watched Reggie Bush's high school film? Like you know how people know that's the crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. Don, you ever seen Reggie Bush in high school? You ever seen that footage?
No, I never seen Reggie
Bush. Reggie Bush in high school was ridiculous.
Don, I'm talking about cutting back ridiculous. Cutting back everybody. Like, yo, bro, tonight go on YouTube. Watch.
I got you.
Like you think Reggie Bush at USC was ridiculous? Reggie Bush at high school,
USC, not even USC.
Crazy.
High school highlights, dog. Yeah. This girl is the equivalent of Reggie Bush in high school. She was playing around with girls, like putting up 50, making girls fall, shooting from wherever. Like watching her play, it didn't even look like. I don't mean to talk about you like you're not here, but I'm trying to let Marcus know what we're dealing with here. But sometimes, Dime, it would just look like, I don't want to make it seem like, but it just looked like you didn't really have to try that hard. I mean, it just looked like you could just kind of go out there and play. Did y'all have plays in high school, Dime? Were there any, like Newman? Y'all didn't have no plays.
For real.
Get the hell out the way.
No, like I'll be talking about that now, like especially being in college this my 4th year. Like in high school, like we didn't have plays like. You see college, they run all the plays, but high school, like I don't remember us having plays. It was just go get a bucket and win a game. Like it was really like nothing, like none of that.
So like what was that transition like for you? Because I mean, someone like me, I know that your IQ is high, so like it's not like it's a whole new world. But what was the transition like for you going to college and getting all these plays and having to adjust to that?
Yeah, it was just like, obviously adjusting to the speed, the strength and stuff like that. But also knowing that I do have players around me that, I can depend on. Like I didn't, have to save the day all the day. So it was pretty much like that, and making those reads and me being comfortable and, passing the ball and trusting my teammates. So that was really probably the biggest adjustment. Yeah, just trusting my teammates more.
When you
Yeah.
were coming up, as you were coming up to college, and even now that you're in college, who have been some of your favorite teammates? Who have been some of your favorite coaches? Some of your favorite people to play against? Like that, all of that put together.
Yeah, I was at Rutgers, I played with Arella and stuff. She was a good player. I think she ended up getting drafted to the Sparks, in second round and stuff. I played with Takia. She was like the crazy one on the team. Like she get us hyped up, she'll smack the floor. Like she was really crazy. Like he know, no for
I miss
sure.
Mac. Yeah, that group was so lit, bro. I
Like
miss
it was not, it was fun. And obviously all the freshmen that came in, so from different states and different AU programs, like it was a lot of good people at state. We had Lisa Kunane, we had Raina and all those other people. So it was pretty good. Like all of my teammates, I think all of my teammates was good teammates. And I saw them potentially like going to the league or going overseas and playing basketball. Like so they was good players for sure.
So Dime, Marcus goes to church with Liz.
I do.
Oh,
I do.
Which let us just thank the Lord
Martino.
that Liz is going to church. First off,
That
that's
was
the
my
first
that was my
testimony.
shooter though. Martino was my shooter for
Martin, I
sure.
feel like you
Like I
I feel like you don't really put the emphasis on the fact that she doesn't just go to church. She's my pastor's daughter.
Well, yeah. So I think me and Liz are both PKs. We have that in common. So I'm actually not even going to give her that much credit for that because she got it.
her dad definitely is a pastor for
Yeah.
sure. That's crazy.
She's my pastor's daughter. She's great. I love Liz. I think Liz.
No,
I
yeah,
love
she was definitely my shooter. I knew one more. That joint was cash.
Yeah,
God, it was cash
she
for
was still
sure.
at Jackson. We could see y'all play against each other.
Some things,
Round two. Y'all low down. Dime, give us the vibe. What's the vibe at Norfolk? What's the team like? I know y'all won. They won the conference last 2 years or just last year.
No, it was last year. They went to the finals 2 years ago, I think too.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the vibe of the team? I know I can tell the coach is excited about you. I'm sure the team is excited about you. What's the vibe of your team? What are you seeing? What do you like so far?
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing a team like I can see how they was champions. Like we all want to win. We all competitive. Like even in practice, this probably like the most competitive practice like I've been having. Um, so just knowing that we all on the same page and that like nobody jealous. Like everybody is really on the same page, and we all know that we in this together. So that's a big part for me because when teammates are getting jealous, it like just divides the whole team, and then that
Mm,
stops you from winning games and winning championships. But the
mm.
team dynamic is good. It's great. Like especially like being around a lot of black people, like we all can relate. Like so, I never felt uncomfortable with them. Even when I first came there, like I was always comfortable.
How did that come about, Dime? How did you pick them? How did that even happen?
So I mean, I don't think nobody knew, but I was always interested in like a HBCU because I grew up around a lot of black people, obviously. So I'm like, okay, like you add the culture and then you add like the basketball piece to it, and I think it was like in my mind, like it was good. It made sense and everything. But a lot of people don't know that I started playing basketball in Virginia, in Hampton. Like I moved down here when I was in fifth grade, and I went to middle school here. Did 1 year elementary, then I went to high school here, and then I moved back to Philly. So this is where I really started playing basketball. Like I built a family, I built a community. I played AU for Boo Williams, so it's like this is really like home. You know what I'm saying? So, and with me watching more basketball over the years and I've been seeing like these mid-major schools beating these Power Five teams, and I'm like, they really got some players, and they must got some good coaches to be able to beat those type teams. And just me watching more film, it was like that's really my style of play, and that's really what it was. And just obviously home was a big part though, like for sure, especially being away and everything that I went through in my previous school. Like home was definitely needed, and I think you see a lot of players going back home or going back where they started playing basketball. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Your routine as a basketball player, pregame, postgame, during warmups. What are the staples of your basketball routine?
Mm, I kind of don't believe in the routine, if that makes sense, because if one thing go wrong, your mind's going to be like, oh no, it's going to be about to be a bad day. We about to have a bad game. So, um, but for the most part, I just wake up, probably listen to music. Probably the most consistent routine I do is just listen to music. Um, Try not to eat too much so I won't be full. I could be ready to move and everything, but that's really it though. Stretching, getting shots up. So that's really the routine though.
And so, Dime, the goal is WNBA pro.
Absolutely, for sure. No.
So, because and I know you pay attention to stuff like this, and then you watch the WNBA. So, if you could put yourself on a roster, on a WNBA roster right now, what team would be best for Dime? What team needs Diamond Johnson the most in the W right now?
Mm, I probably would say either um Seattle. Um I like the Dream too though. I like the Dream and
ATL? Diamond ATL?
and probably I would say Connecticut just because I've been watching them a lot. I think they're a great team. I thought they was gonna beat the Liberty in the when they was playing, but like I think I can add to like just the shooting aspect, like just stretching the floor more because you got At she playing 1 through 4, like she passing, so she kick it right to me, yeah, straight ball. So definitely those 3 teams though for sure.
I mean, Connecticut could definitely use some consistent elite guard play. So I know they'd love to have you. On that same WNBA wave, could you give us your all-time starting five of WNBA players?
Ooh, all time.
All time five, Dime. Give us a
Okay.
five. Give us a five.
Okay. PG, gotta go with Dawn
Ooh,
for sure. Shooting guard, I'm gonna change it up. Shooting guard, I'm gonna put Maya Moore at the shooting guard
okay.
position.
Ooh.
Yep. At the 3, I'm gonna go with I like Diana.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
Diana at the 3. At the 4, ooh, I'm gonna go Asia Wilson at the 4. She elite. She been my favorite player since 2018, y'all. Just to let y'all know.
Mm.
You
Mm.
got to
Uh,
put that out there.
at the 5, I'm gonna definitely go Tina Thompson.
That's a five,
Oh,
bro.
a five.
That's a
Yeah,
five, bro.
On Maya, DT, Asia, and Tina?
That's a
yeah, for
five.
sure.
That's a five.
That's a five. Yeah, that's
That's
a
For
a
sure.
five.
mean five. I got another five for you, Dime. We want to know your top five queens right now. So, any women in your life, basketball, family, any women who are giving you that energy right now, who you're inspired by, motivated by, giving you that queen energy that Dime needs right now. Who are your top five queens in life right now?
Top 5 queen. Whew. I would definitely say my sisters. They do a lot for me. I obviously I grew up with them, but they taught me like a lot of things growing up and that I'm seeing now. Not just just in life in general. I would say a lot of my friends, like yeah, like a lot of my friends that I grew up with in high school, like we still close, and they just want me to be better. They just want what's best for me, and they could care less about like the basketball stuff, and that's what I really look for. Like, do you care about me outside of basketball?
So you're
So
still close with friends from high school.
no, for sure, no, definitely, not for sure.
Good, good. So you only get 5, girl. So you named about you said
I named like
sisters.
10. They all in the group.
You bring them all together. You can't. Yeah. See, that's that Philly stuff, Marcus. I told you.
See, here we go again, man.
Got their
Here we
own
What's your
go.
beef
Here
with
we
Philly,
go.
man? What's your beef
That's
with
that
Philly,
Jersey
man?
stuff, like that Jersey
Nah,
stuff.
don't do
Out of
that. Don't come to
pocket.
Jersey, Don. Don't come for Jersey. No.
Dude.
We're very calm over here.
We
Don't
got Marcus. Where you from?
I'm from DC. I don't want no smoke. I'm
You
from
want
DC.
no
I don't want no smoke.
Nah, we can come for the
I don't want no
DMV too.
smoke.
Y'all got
Nah. I don't want no smoke.
him and Liz. That's why him and Liz are acting there.
I want no smoke.
You know.
I do want to
Nah,
ask
for
you.
sure.
I do want to ask you another question, Dom. And this is kind of like a game. We did this with Michaela Blakes a couple weeks ago, and she was able to name 7. Okay, so we're gonna. What do we do, Martin? We did 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
So we're gonna give you 30 seconds. Martin's gonna start the clock. We're gonna give you 30 seconds to name as many basketball players, men or women, that you can, whose name also starts with the letter D.
Hold up. Is they all present or all time, or it don't matter?
Any basketball players ever,
All
past,
time. Doesn't
present, it just ever that has ever played basketball.
Whew.
All right.
All right.
When you're ready, we got 30 seconds on the clock.
I gotta start.
I'm gonna go when you're ready. You ready?
All
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Dwight Howard, Damian Lillard, Dylan Brooks, Diana Taurasi, Dewana Bonner, Dama Johnson.
Dwayne Wade.
She did. She said D-Wade.
You did say Wade D-Wade?
She said
Yeah.
D-Wade.
Oh, I thought she missed D-Wade. I'm like, dog.
The Dylan Brooks one got me. The Dylan Brooks one got me. That one got me.
You just trying to
He
Nah,
be on
that
Twitter
one
a
got
lot,
me.
so his name pop up a lot.
Nah, that one got me. Nah, he do be on Twitter for the wrong reasons.
Facts.
No, that one got me. That was good.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. What she get? Did she get 5 or 6?
She got 6, so she threw herself in there at the end.
Right. She said herself, which
She said
people
herself.
don't always do. People don't always do themselves, which is
I don't think Michaela did that. I don't think
I don't
Michaela
think
did
she
that when
did.
she did
Yeah,
hers.
you count.
That's a free one. That's a free. You're a
It's
hooper.
a
That's
free
a free
one
one
for sure.
Yeah.
You said Michaela could have said me. That's a stretch.
You're a basketball player, Martin. You play basketball.
Counts, but that's not what we're talking about.
We're talking about basketball players, Martin.
Yeah, no, it counts. But
How do you say it when we announce the show? It's basketball. We're talking about basketball.
like if you said Martin Sories to somebody, they'd be like, "Wait, who?" It'd be like, "What?"
Then they don't love basketball.
Anybody.
Then they don't love
It's
basketball.
fine, they don't
They're not
love
from Jersey.
basketball.
They don't love that.
They're not from Jersey. They don't know who Martin Sories is.
Hold on, I got a question for y'all.
What's up?
Well, y'all gotta go separately. You first, Martin.
Okay.
You get 5 seconds to name 5 characters off of SpongeBob. Ready, set, go.
SpongeBob. Good work.
Ding, ding, ding. Time out.
You're not gonna ding me.
Come on.
Oh, I know.
dog.
Well, Diamond loves SpongeBob. I know Don loves a SpongeBob.
As she should.
I don't know
SpongeBob is great. You don't know
I don't know.
SpongeBob.
No, I don't. I never got into SpongeBob, bro. It wasn't.
Why not?
I just
And again, I just want to keep track. This is now the 3rd time. This is the 3rd time that I've had something in common with a guest that Martin wasn't that fond of.
You keep saying
It's the
you,
third
but
time it's happened.
here's what you need to understand though. Every guest that is on this show that I bring on,
It's because of you. I understand.
we always have something in common because every guest I have on is a bucket. So I have something in common.
Are you a bucket, Martin? Are you
So
a
I'm
bucket?
glad you feel special, but just know
I
that
do.
our guests are
Martin,
part
look.
but I'm glad you're connected. I'm glad you're
If I've
connected.
said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I talk about sports because I'm not good at them, bro. I'm not here for all that. I'm not here for the bucket, bro. I'm not here for the bucket.
All right, Marcus,
I got a name.
I got yours. I got yours.
Wait, I'm gonna say I don't want to say the ones he said though. I know he said SpongeBob.
Nah,
No,
you
no,
gotta
I'm gonna
give
give
it
you a
to you.
different question.
You got
Or
a
you gonna be a
one.
different question?
Running
Oh,
the show
okay.
now.
That's
Oh,
fine.
he
Look,
trying to
that's
count
fine.
the show. Look.
That's fine.
All right, you got 5 seconds to name 5 states. Go.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware,
He
Florida,
just
Georgia,
went in
Hawaii,
the
Idaho, Illinois.
Whoa. Are you saying them in alphabetical order?
I was saying in alphabetical order, yeah.
Do you know all the states in alphabetical order?
What?
I know all 50 states in alphabetical order, yes.
That's insane.
Not normal, Marcus. That's not normal. That's not.
Do you want me to do it or
That's
no?
that's
Go
definitely.
ahead,
not
just
normal.
do it. Do it.
You want me to do it?
Go ahead. I used to know the books of the Bible by Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. That's it. That's all I got.
I'm about to say that's a PK for sure. That's a PK for sure. If you can name all 66, I
Junior
can't.
Jam in kids' church, Cowboy used to teach us. My man in Junior Jam used to teach us the books of the Bible. I used to have it memorized. I used to be able to.
That is crazy.
Just get them out there.
I ain't got to know more. Go ahead, Mark.
But no, yeah, I was saying them enough. There's actually a song. I'm not going to sing, but Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Mississippi. Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio. Now that I'm doing it on the spot, I can't do it in order. Ohio, Pennsylvania.
What is going on?
I'm gonna have to do it with the song. I don't want to start over though. But I got to Pennsylvania.
That in school? They taught you that in school?
So there's a song. So you know the Animaniacs?
Yeah.
Like the country song. United States, Canada, Mexico. Yeah, that them people. There's also a song for that for the states to like the Turkey and the Straw song. So in my 5th grade general knowledge class, because it wasn't like science, it was like social studies, but not really. We had to learn the states in order, in alphabetical order. And I learned the song. I know the song. I was I could sing I could recite all 50 states the fastest in my 5th grade class. I got an award for it and everything.
Well, I just learned something new today.
I feel so nerdy now. You guys know the 50 states in order and like, and I'm gonna go in.
No. They teaching that in Philly? Oh, or in Jersey.
I thought that was like a thing, bro. I thought it was like a thing that we were doing.
He says like a thing.
Yeah. I thought everybody knew the 50 states in order. I thought that was like a thing that you learned.
Time. He said Alaska, Alabama.
He said Alaska, Alabama. I said never mind. I never gave him that question.
He was about to say 5 A's. I'm like, bro, you got 5 A's? Oh my God. Hey, Marcus, you know that we absolutely must, at all costs, we must protect our queen, Diamond Johnson, no matter what it takes. Dime, we like to have a little fun on the show and on our page. We got some videos on our page of us trolling some people in some comments. People like to, people who can't make layups like to talk about basketball on basketball.
I'm crying.
So, we like to just go in there and just have our fun and troll the trolls a little bit. So, in that spirit, you don't got to get spicy or disrespectful or nothing. But in fact, let me ask you this way: like, have you ever had like in person? Have you ever had to like a dude like talk to you and you be like, yo, check rock, or like meet me at the gym tomorrow morning? Like ever? Did you ever have like an experience like that before?
Yeah, like it'll definitely be like if I get out of practice or something, or I'm just at the court and they, talking trash. I'm like, I just get the ball, throw it at them, and then I hit them with a hezzy. After that, they quit.
Not the hezzo.
I hit them with the hezzy, and then they quit. And I'd be like, no, like you can't quit. But they quit anyway. So I'm like, you just wasted my time.
Got them jumping for Jesus. Shit. She said after the Hezo, they quit, Marcus.
No, for real.
Lord.
For real.
That is so discouraging.
I try to stay in my lane, bro. Like I don't.
Yeah, you don't want no part of that.
I don't want no smoke. No, I don't want no smoke.
Glasses will fall off. Boy. You don't even know what to do with that right there.
Right.
The glasses would fall off. There's no strap back here. These are loose. They would fall off. They would fall off. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's been great. I mean, I don't have anything else, Martin. I don't know if you have anything else. I was enjoying myself until I was put on the spot about Norfolk State. I thought that was like just something that kids knew. I guess not. All right.
Fine. We still got the Bojangles plug. You still got is it Bojangles or Popeyes? It
was Bojangles. You know, y'all got Bojangles up there in Jersey.
No, we don't. You
don't have a Bojangles in Jersey?
No, dog. You don't have to eat it.
I think it's a southern thing because they don't have it.
It is. Yeah, no. It's
really?
South, Cookout and Bojangles.
Yeah.
We don't got none of that. Yeah, that's all.
We've got like a couple. We have a couple Bojangles in this.
Yeah, because y'all like to act like the South in the DMV.
That's what did I say 15 minutes ago? I don't want no smoke, bro. I'm not here for none of that, man. I'm just here, bro.
Oh, I'm just telling you. But Dime, tell me how to say your agent's name. Is it Chantel? Is that how
it's Chantel? Yeah, Chantel.
Oh, she does a great job. I just love her so much.
No, she the best agent for sure.
She's great. I see, not just with you, but in general, I see the work she's doing. She does a great job.
No, she's really good for sure.
Give her our best too.
Shout out to Chantel.
Yeah, our girl. Much love.
Dime, I just want to ask you super quick because you mentioned that you listen to music. But do you have like a top 5 rappers? Just who's in your top 5 rappers?
Yeah, who's spinning right now, Dime?
Yeah, recently it's been Gunna, Kodak, Moneybag Yo, G Herbo, and fourth one probably would say like Young Thug in the top 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good 5.
Sure.
That's a good 5. Well, it was truly a pleasure to have you on the show, Diamond. It's always a pleasure to do these episodes every week, especially when we have great guests like you. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. You are more than welcome to come back on the show anytime you see fit. Whether you want to talk about you, whether you want to trash Jersey, or whether you want to talk about women's basketball, whatever you want to do on this show,
whatever
you can do, as long as the DMV stays out of it, because I don't want no smoke. So for my guy Martin Soares and for Diamond Johnson, I am Marcus of the Protect Our Queens podcast. Thank you guys for watching. And remember, if you don't like women's basketball, that is none of our business and none of our concern. Because here on the Protect Our Queens podcast, we are going to continue to promote, support, and show love to the game of women's basketball. Because protecting our queens, it's not just a podcast, it is a movement. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. So good night, everybody. See you next time.
See ya.